Now, did you notice the last 36 hours? Wow, the Republican field for 2024 expanded to include candidates with little to no chance at winning the nomination. So we were wondering tonight, what is motivating them, pray tell? Well, Chris Christie threw his hat in the ring, and it's pretty obvious. He's just trying to be the flamethrower against Trump.
He's a baby. Whenever you want to criticize him in any way, that's the way he responds. If we had a child who conducted themselves like that, we'd send them to their room, not to the White House.
No dinner. Well, Pence entered today as well, and he thinks that he can surge in the categories for both populists and maybe the establishment.
President Trump also demanded that I choose between him and the Constitution. Now voters will be faced with the same choice. I chose the Constitution, and I always will.
And then there's Doug.
We need a leader who's clearly focused on three things: economy, energy, and national security. And that is why today I'm officially announcing I'm running for the President of the United States of America.
Joining me now is former Speaker of the House, Fox News contributor Newt Gingrich. He's also the author of March to the Majority. All right, Newt, let's start with Mike Pence. What do you think is driving his entry into the race at this point?
Well, I mean, look, Pence has been a good congressman, a governor, a vice president. He's young, fit, smart, has a nationwide base of people who admire his traditional conservatism. And I think he sort of thinks, why not? I mean, a lot of these guys are focused on the idea that somewhere down the road, whether it's in the Justice Department indictment that we were told today is about to occur, or it's the Atlanta indictment, or it's some other thing, that magically Trump will disappear. And then there'll be a wide open race. And frankly, in a wide open race, Mike Pence is very attractive, just as Governor DeSantis is very attractive.
I don't agree with you.
The problem for all of them is...
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I mean, I love
Why?
Mike Pence as a person, and I adore him as a person, actually. And I think he's done a lot of great things for the country. But Pence, for some reason, still is caught in the old establishment GOP wing, more of the kind of Bush wing of the party. Right. I think he played populist with Trump. He's not really a populist. And again, I like him a lot. I mean, DeSantis, yes, because he's a populist. He's more of a America First conservative. But if Trump goes away, Trump's views are still going to be dominant in the party, Newt. That's my point. So all these guys can say everything they want about the rah-rah Reagan days of the GOP. But that old coalition is gone. That coalition does not exist anymore.
Well, you may be right. On the other hand, maybe you're not. The fact is, I'm not sure the average voter goes out there and says to themselves, gee, am I part of the Reagan coalition? What the average voter wants to know is, are you going to help fix inflation? Are you going to help fix the economy? Are you going to control the border? Are you going to fix our schools? Are you going to knock down the weird left-wing wokeism? I mean, they have a series of things they want, and any of these candidates potentially could make a case for it, including the governor of North Dakota, who is a self-funding billionaire and an interesting guy. And again, you're in this sort of environment.
Yeah, but he's a globalist. I mean, I think, again, he's interesting. But, Newt, you come on this show week after week, which we love. And we've pointed out on the border, on trade, on China, on all these issues that the establishment GOP got so screwed up for this country, ushering in Obama and all the disasters that he brought from the wars on out. They're still clinging to those. I mean, if they could, they'd do another surge in Iraq. I'm telling you. So I think that clinging to that old vision of not Reagan, but the old vision of, wars of choice, of massive immigration amnesty, that's just not going to play. I think that blows up the Republican coalition as it currently exists, if that's the way we go. And I think we lose if that's the way we go.
But Laura, I think a candidate stupid enough to take the positions you just described has no hope. Now, all of them can do polling. All of them can look at the information. All of them go out on the stump. Very few people are going to run out and say, hi, I'm a globalist. Very few people are going to run out and say, I really love having an open border. But to me, the interesting thing is, look, I have a two-lake theory of what's going on. There's a very large lake that has all the Trump voters. There's a much smaller lake that has the non-Trump voters. all of these candidates, including DeSantis, who's failed to sort of make the cut, all these candidates are in the non-Trump lake fighting for about 40% of the party. Trump, I suspect, is popping champagne corks at Mar-a-Lago every time there's a new candidate. I mean, what he wants is 15 or 20 candidates out there making a whole range of noise and one person that the country identifies with. And if he gets that, he could be the nominee by March.
Well, I think that you're right about that. I mean, the bigger the field, the bigger the gift to President Trump, and he will be popping champagne corks. And all of those people are better than any Democrat. We know that. Newt, I love your analysis. I mean, I have to debate you sometimes. Otherwise, I just agree with everything you say, and it's just like nodding the whole segment.
I don't mind.
I know, Newt. It's great to see you. I know. It's great to see you. See you at the diner. All right, good to see you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.